Sonny Rollins used to come to my house with a friend of ours. I guess I would have been maybe in my late 20s during that time. I didn't even know he played an instrument. He used to come with, and he would always laugh. He had this fun, yup, 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 yup. And I said, here this guy comes, you know. And then I found out, I saw him one night in front of this restaurant. We used to hang out after gigs with a horn. And I said, oh, you had a gig? I didn't even know he played an instrument then. That would have been well in the middle 40s till later. Then I ended up recording with him the summer of 1949, his first record date as a leader. Yeah, Sonny Rollins. He turned out to be one of the biggies.
Big ones. Big ones.
Still active. Said that Vitous, that's the company I'm with, is putting on. And there's a track with you on there, with Miles playing piano. You remember that?
Yeah, that was legitimately put out.
Oh, yeah.
Are you on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was made at Miles's record date,
It
though.
was Miles. Yeah.
How about
Was that Miles? You sure?
Huh?
You sure it was Miles' record date?
I'm thinking, because that's the only one that I remember making, in 51 with Miles.
Okay, I guess it was his date since he was there.
Yeah, that's when we did Blue Room and all that. Da,
Okay,
da, da, da,
right.
and down. Da, 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 da.
Okay, right.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
You forgot about that.
That never came out before?
Yeah.
It was out?
It's been out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say they took it from something called Sonny Rollins with the MJQ. That's confusing.
Yeah. I don't know how they do that stuff, but
They probably took that and put it in something.
Put it on something
Yeah,
else.
the Prestige. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I feel right. That was Down and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
John, Morpheus too.
Morpheus.
John Lewis.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
1951, man.
1951. Wow.
Jesus.
Now I'd like to feature the other old man in the band. It's Misery Loves Company. We've got two old and two young. One of the great drummers, in my estimation, and also in many other people's estimation. I'd like to present to you Roy Haynes.
When did I get my first drum kit? I started with a snare drum. I didn't get a set of drums like that, boom, boom, a set of drums. I got one piece at a time. Yes, you know, that was in the early 40s, and, you know, my parents weren't rich enough to buy this young man a set of drums, so I got one piece at a time, and which I'm still doing now. One piece at a time.
And in those years, in those early years, did you have a teacher?
Well, I got to think about that, as you say. I guess, you know, I listened to everybody. I didn't have no one person that was a teacher. Actually, I listened to what I thought was some of the greatest drummers I ever heard. And I went to Boston Conservatory for a little while.
Okay, yeah.
You know, a short period, I think during the 40s. But I didn't learn there what I wanted to know about, you know, the so-called jazz that I play, you know. So I would just make up things and, you know, listen to all the greatest players that I could listen to.
Name some of those players that you like. Who did you want to sound like, or who inspired you and influenced you?
I really, from an early age, I wanted to sound original. But Papa Joe Jones,
Yes.
the drummer with Count Basie's band, he was one of the first ones that, really inspired me. I listened to all the drummers though, but he was one of the first ones. I met Art Blakey when I was a teenager, and I sort of followed him around. And Max Roach, he was only a couple of years older than myself. Got close to him during the early 40s or the middle 40s, and I would listen to everybody. But certain people I really liked, and I think that helped to create an original feeling that I would have on the instrument.
Would you comment on any of the rudiments that you worked on or consciously sought out to, put into your playing?
I thought I heard you say rudiments.
Yes.
I was going to question that because I didn't know too much about rudiments. And I still really don't. I never got into the rudiments, even though I respected a lot of drummers that did, and it sounded great to hear that. But I could never play things even. I was mostly this, ding, ding, da, ding, ding, da, ding. And whatever I would do with the two hands, I would just do something that I felt comfortable doing.
Okay.
It was never really rudimental.
Okay.
Because, I respected that. I wish I could do it. I wish I could play like da-da-da-da-da. I could never do that.
Okay.
So mine is always broken up or going different directions, and
Yes.
which has become part of me now.
Well, it's your style, and it's become.
But I could never play like even. I could never have even hands like I could never do that. I don't think I played with Duke Ellington, but he wanted me to join his band. I forget exactly what year it was. I don't remember if we ever jammed together. It seems like I should remember if I did play with Duke Ellington at some time. But I know I never played with him and his band, for one. And there may be some others that I haven't played, but I played with Count Basie, and some others.
How did you like big band, playing big band?
My first job in New York, 1945, was with a big band, a band leader by the name of Louis Russell.
Louis Russell.
He was
Pianist.
from Panama. But this man hired me to join his big band in 1945 and never heard me. But he heard about me. It's something to have heard about somebody, and you're going to hire them. And you're going to tell them how much you're going to pay them even before you have heard them. I think I still have the letter that he sent me, a special delivery letter,
Wow.
telling me how much he would pay me.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man.
Wow.
It was something.
Yeah, that is something.
Before he heard me.
And that was 45.
1945, September of 1945, I came from Boston to New York to join that big band. My first gig with the band was the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem with a big, 12, 13-piece orchestra. And I was thrilled.
Yes.
I played with that band like I had been playing a million years, looking good. In fact, then it was very popular for jazz players to wear not sunglasses, but glasses, rim glasses. One of the great drummers who was only a year or two older than myself, Max Roach, he had some of those glasses.
Yes.
But he had to wear them because his eyes
Yes,
were
yes,
not too,
yes.
hit. But
Yeah.
I just bought some because it was fashionable.
Yes.
I had these horn rim glasses, looking slick. Playing them drums.
Well, I guess the glasses sort of give you a look of intelligence.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
During that period, horn rim glasses.
Yes,
And a mustache.
A mustache, right. And then you went from his band to Prez.
Lester Young, yeah.
And how did that come about?
Well, Lester Young had heard about me. And naturally, I knew all about him because Joe Jones, they both were with the Basie band. He was one of the first drummers that I tried to play like, was Papa Joe Jones.
Papa Joe, yeah. Tell us about Princess Wee Wee.
Princess Wee Wee. That was a nickname. You read about that, huh?
Yeah.
Well, when I started playing drums, I think the size of the bass drum that was popular then was a 28-inch bass drum. 28. And then I think they started getting smaller. I got one when I was with Lester Young, which would have been 1947. I think I got a 20-inch bass drum. So when I brought it to work, I think we were working at the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem. Lester Young looked at this little bass drum and he right away gave it a nickname, Princess Wee Wee. It was so small, you know, from a
28, 26,
28, 25 to a
20.
20 it was, yeah, 20 inches, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I use an 18-inch bass drum.
Yes.
Really a Princess Wee Wee. Let's see, when I was playing with Lester Young, I think there was a guy that wanted to be a roadie with Lester Young. I think he heard that we were going to go to California or something like that from New York. So he was trying to get the job as roadie with the band. And he would just come around and help me with my drums. And I think when he found out that he was not going to get the job, he decided to disappear with my bass drum. So I think I was on my way from New York with Lester Young to go to California by way of Chicago and some other place. So when I got to Chicago, I had no bass drum. And I met somebody right away that introduced me to somebody with Ludwig. He said, there's a guy here from Ludwig right in the club now. I would like to introduce you to him. So I think that was like a Friday night. And they invited me to the Ludwig plant in the north part of Chicago the next morning, which was going to be Saturday. I don't think they usually open on Saturday, but they were going to open this particular Saturday to get Roy Haynes a set of drums, which is what I did. And that's the first time I had ever been to a drum factory where they make everything, and I'm like a little kid in a candy store. You know, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, I'm collecting drumsticks, drum heads, and everything. That was my first visit to a drum factory. Then I stayed with them for many years. They would give me drums and give me a full-page ad in Downbeat magazine.
Yes.
I had this mustache, you know, a lot of hair, very fashionable.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
so
yes.
From there to now.
You told me that you were on 52nd Street and someone came down with a message because Max had just left Bird. Max and Miles, I think, had just left Bird. And you, someone came down with a message from Bird to you that Bird wanted you to come down and join the band where he was playing at a club on 52nd Street. And I think your response was, well, if he wants me to join the band, he needs to ask me.
You want to know if that was true?
Yes. Well, you told me. So
I didn't tell it to you exactly like that.
Okay. Well, that's how I picked it up. So,
Okay.
So you want to give me the exact version?
Well, I think it was something similar to that.
Okay. Well,
It was close. But I did go with Bird, you know.
yeah. Well, finally, he came down to ask you to join the band.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, I know what it was, because Max was working across the street from where I was working and came over and asked me. And then Charlie Parker came over himself and asked me.
And asked you to join the band.
Yeah, and I did.
And how long were you in that band?
Well, you know, back in those days, especially Charlie Parker, he didn't work like steady, you know.
Yeah.
So I had other gigs in between some of his gigs, you know. But I stayed with that band for a number of years. Yeah, until I went. I think I stayed with Charlie Parker until I joined Sarah Vaughan, which would have been 1953.
Okay.
Annually, I think they would have an article written by a man by the name of George Frazier. He was into dressing, and he would write columns about, you know, people wearing clothes and that whole thing. You know, a lot of the movie stars.
Yeah.
But I remember at one point, Miles Davis and myself got into one. We were the youngest.
The youngest, right?
And the only blacks to be
Yes.
mentioned during that period,
In that period.
something like that.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I did start something.
You did.
I was,
You did.
know, one of the first of something
That's right.
that went on in this their country of ours.
That's right. That's right. And you're still the first. You're still the first.
My early what?
Memories of Sonny Rollins.
Sonny Rollins used to come to my house with a friend of ours. I guess I would have been maybe in my late 20s during that time. I didn't even know he played an instrument. He used to come with, and he would always laugh. He had this fun, yup, 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 yup. And I said, here this guy comes, you know. And then I found out, I saw him one night in front of this restaurant. We used to hang out after gigs with a horn. And I said, oh, you had a gig. I didn't even know he played an instrument then. That would have been well in the middle 40s till later. Then I ended up recording with him the summer of 1949, his first record date as a leader. Yeah, Sonny Rollins. And he turned out to be one of the biggies.
Big ones. Big ones. Big.
Still active. I was.
There you go. Come on, man. Over the record.
Over here, bro.
You gonna stand on the table, man?
It's not the right kind of fluid.
No, you can't tap dance on no carpet. This ain't no soft shoe, man. Oh no, that ain't even fair to start at. Wait.